His name is mentioned many times in these documents that were dumped. It's unredacted. There are claims about him, about his association with Epstein that are not great, but again, completely unsubstantiated. And we have that again with many other people as well.
I think this is the biggest political scandal we've had in 30 years.
It's taken on global proportions. I mean, we were just taking stock of all the different countries that have come out scathed, clearly.
Yeah, and we are certainly one of those. Let's talk about Trump, though, because I think our listeners are interested in this question. That he said he's been absolved by all of these releases. I guess he would say that anyway. We must acknowledge that. But how fair is that? How damaged has he been by these revelations?
Well, first of all, just in terms of the substance of any allegations, there's nothing really in these files that's conclusive one way or the other in terms of suggesting or proving some nefarious link between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Those answers aren't included even in 3 million pages of information. As far as politically, the question is politically, what does this do for Donald Trump? That's also up in the air too. So there's two ways to think about this. One is, does this change the likelihood that Republicans will be able to win in November and continue pressing forward with Donald Trump's agenda, or will they be hurt by this? When we talk to Republicans, when we talk to White House officials, they tell us that they don't think voters are voting on these issues. And when you look at the polls, voters are not voting on these issues. They're voting on kitchen table issues. But there is a political problem here, which is that Donald Trump is being taken off his message, right? And anytime he has a press availability right now, he's getting asked questions about Jeffrey Epstein. And that's not, allowing him to convince voters who are skeptical right now that his economic agenda is aligned with their interests.
But I guess the point is that for all of these 3 million documents, and the fact that Trump clearly had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, which ended, there's no moment where Epstein says something that would implicate or confirm that Trump did something with women that Epstein had provided. Have we got to that point? There's no smoking gun, is there?
Well, no, and I mean, and anything that's coming from Jeffrey Epstein personally, right? We have a lot of emails from him in these document dumps. Anything from him personally would also be treated, as potentially, misinformation as well, right? And so, no, we don't have anything from Epstein himself that suggests anything nefarious. And the information that we do have that names Donald Trump in these files is completely unsubstantiated and uncorroborated, right? And so it does not help us get to factual answers about what happened.
What's the worst thing that's hovering over Trump out of this? Is there a claim, unsubstantiated as you say, and we'll make that very clear? But what's the worst thing that's emerged about Trump from this dump?
Well, I mean, his name is the fact that his name is mentioned, right? His name is mentioned many times in these documents that were dumped. It's unredacted. There are claims about him, about his association with Epstein that are not great, but again, completely unsubstantiated. And we have that again with many other people as well. And as you can see, the Congress is looking at the Clintons and having them testify. So there are a lot of famous people clearly tied up in these files. We've got aides of Donald Trump, Howard Lutnick, who said his relationship with Epstein had ended. Documents suggesting that wasn't exactly the case. So a lot there.
Is there more to come? Has anything been held back? Has anything been redacted that you're aware of?
There are some redactions. There are obviously in some of the victims' cases they would have preferred more redactions. But the Department of Justice has suggested that they are at the end in terms of what they are going to be releasing as a result of this. Whether there's more documents to come that get found that turn up, we've had that happen before, where documents are turned up, things that come from the Epstein estate and are turned over to Congress, that sort of thing. Whether there's more to come, we don't know.
Is there any chance Trump could be called to testify on this, or as a president, can he sort of not have to appear before Congress like this?
Yeah. So one of the things that is no, we shouldn't expect that, especially from Republican-controlled Congress this year. What I think we can expect politically is that if Democrats do take over the House after November's elections, they in all likelihood will continue investigations related to Trump writ large and potentially related to this issue if they take over Congress next year.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk has appeared in all of this. He said he had nothing to do with Epstein. And again, what the central story out of this appears to be very powerful people have pretended to the world that once Epstein was first convicted, they had nothing to do with him. And what seems to be the case is that's not true. And that's not true for Peter Mandelson here. It seems to be true for a whole bunch of powerful people.
It's clear that what these emails, especially the emails between Epstein and other people, do show is that that Epstein did not become a complete pariah after he got entangled with the law enforcement system, and in fact retained a lot of really high value relationships clearly through that period as well. And that has been very embarrassing for those people.
Just before you go, Trevor, I think our Prime Minister spoke to Trump last night. I don't think they spoke about Epstein. I'm sure it would have been a very awkward topic, but they probably spoke about Chagos. It's a big story over here, the Chagos Islands. And the question is whether Trump will let Britain continue with their plan to do the deal they've done with Mauritius. Are you getting any murmurs? Because if Trump says no, it kills the deal. Are you hearing anything about that over there? Does it?
Well, no. So we did have this statement, the Downing Street statement, that suggested that they had a reasonably positive conversation about this topic. The White House, interestingly, has not substantiated that one way or the other. They have not characterized the tone and tenor of that conversation. So it remains to be seen if the U.S. if Trump's perspective on that call matches with Prime Minister Starmer's.
Well, that's a big question, isn't it? We'll see if anything comes out over the next day or so. Trevor, great to speak to you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.